from Zaid Comics, artist and co-creator on Magic Cop and graphic artist for the comic book and video game industry for about 9 years now. And today we're going to be doing another movie poster breakdown. So let's see what we have. We have the Birds of Prey movie posters we're going to be taking a look at. This poster specifically has had a lot of controversy around it because of its graphical design techniques that they have employed on here, and we're going to be talking about them today. And then we also have a follow-up poster. This poster in particular right here is the only poster I've seen in theaters, although we still have all the way until February until this movie comes out, so I'm sure we're going to be seeing quite a few different designs. So here we go. So we have Harley Quinn, although she might be slightly unrecognizable because they have changed her costume yet again. We have her on the backdrop here, which is the rainbow colored backdrop, kind of separating her out from the universe that she lives in. I think this is meant to show a character trait and kind of like that flamboyant kookiness that she has with her character. And then we have down here, we have a couple of lines that are leading you up away from the bottom of the poster because we don't really want people's eyes lingering down in dead space. So we have these suspenders that are leading the eye up, and then we have a nice necklace on here which is kind of bordering the focal point of this poster, which is the Harley Quinn face here. And we have it really nice and bright with kind of like these highlighted facial ridges, and then we have the really bright red lips, lightened up eyes, everything, trying to keep your eyes focused on the center of the poster. And then on the center of the poster, we have these characters here. So what we can assume, this looks like this is Harley Quinn, and then some of the other characters from the movie are floating around with these wings. I imagine that this is meant to be kind of like, when somebody hits their head with a hammer or something like that, and you see stars or you see the birds flying around your head. That's kind of meant to show off maybe her mental state or her kind of, quirkiness or something like that. Personally, I think from a graphic design standpoint, these characters are poorly done. Their lighting is too much from the studio. They didn't do a good enough job of incorporating them into the poster itself, or doing anything with them to kind of make it look like they weren't just cropped out of their photo or chroma keyed out of the background and then dropped into this picture without doing anything to them. They look like they were untouched. In fact, this girl looks like she might just be standing on the floor with her leg in the air. I think that just, though the photos themselves are too clear and they're not incorporated enough into this poster, and then from far, like we could zoom out, like imagine if you were walking down the hall in a movie theater and we're looking at a poster, it just looks like noise. It doesn't really look like anything is really happening in this area that is of worth to go look at. It might just be kind of like, what happened to that poster? Because we have this beautiful portrait of Margot Robbie here, and then we have like all this little stuff that we might not be able to discern at a distance, and looks like tears or something in the poster. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on here. And then we have everybody's flying around with wings or anything. And one of the points for designing a poster like this, is you want to create the sense of people that they want to go see this thing, or this is a DC entity and these are characters that I recognize. And really nobody on here is striking or popping off this thing to me as a character that I recognize. Everybody's basically just wearing like regular street clothes, which is kind of annoying and really doesn't work for me as an artist, because I really want to hit home that idea that this is something that people need to see because these are characters that they know, especially if I'm using an established IP like Birds of Prey or something. And then we have a couple more things on this poster. One is the oversized heads. This is a graphic technique that they use for when they want to show off actors playing particular roles. They slightly enlarge the heads, which is kind of an oxymoron on this poster because we've shrunken the characters down so tiny that we couldn't possibly be able to see who they are anyway. So enlarging the heads kind of makes them look cartoony instead of actually doing the job that it's supposed to be doing. And then down here on the title, we have the title font, which is it's pretty cool. It's got like the baseball bat here. It's got her little hammer, some like jewels and stuff. I guess this is like an arrow or something. And then we have the subtitle, which so it's Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. So Birds of Prey, maybe not a lot of people know what Birds of Prey are. There is a long-running comic book series. There is a TV show for a while. But a lot of people will recognize Harley Quinn, and this is why you do something like this. So obviously this isn't a poster or graphic design technique or anything like this. This is probably more of a marketing thing, but this is something like we can look toward the movie Fantastic Beasts. So they put on there like Harry Potter, just to let you know that it's a Harry Potter franchise movie. And here, even though we have the DC logo here, it is very important for the general audience to know that Harley Quinn is in this movie, or this is a Harley Quinn movie, because Harley Quinn is such a big pop culture icon right now. So, of course, this poster is very good at drawing in the eye. It has yellow, which is a very good way of drawing in the eye. There's some yellow over here. There's a lot of bright colors. We have a lot of contrast between the background and then the central focal point, which is her face. So, they've done a lot of good fundamental techniques on here. I think that they tried to do something with these little bird guys up here near the top, and I don't think that it worked. I think it could have been executed a little bit better, or maybe even a lot better. And one last thing before we switch to the other one here, we have a tagline. It looks like Mind Over Mayhem, which looks, it's kind of lost on here. It really doesn't look like it's a tattoo that she has in the movie, but it also looks like it's pretty poorly photoshopped on. So, that's not a good thing for that. Alright, let's check out this other one. Now, I've not seen this one at all, so this is the first time I'm really looking at it. So, this is another Birds of Prey movie poster, and it has some classic design elements, and then a couple of new crazy, like this coloring going on here in the background is very crazy. This was kind of, we saw this very recently in the Wonder Woman 2 poster. I know it's like called Wonder Woman 89 or something like that. Very, very colorful, very, very appealing to the eye. Kind of in like almost in the effect of like this is confusing to the eye, but makes you want to like go over and look at the poster. And then the use of yellow here again in the center. Very, very easy way of grabbing people's attention. Like imagine this poster is backlit in a marquee somewhere in the hall of a movie theater. This yellow is going to be blowing out at you amongst the other much darker movie posters that we see generally in the theaters, especially around this time. We have a lot of dark movie posters because of Halloween and stuff is coming up, and so this yellow is really, really going to be attractive to your eye. All right, and then so we have down here we have Harley Quinn in a studio photo on this sofa. She has her classic pet hyena, who's giving her some business, and then she's just not having any of it, which is pretty funny. This is a character showcase meant to show off a character trait, her kind of goofiness, but then we have some like hey, this is not a classic female character type of thing going on here. So we have some contrast here with these grenades and this baseball bat, and some kind of Easter eggs for fans of the series. And then we have down here, which is not really incorporated into the poster at all. This is the hammer. I could only assume this is her hammer. We don't even have like the hammer handle leading into the picture. I guess it's like facing the camera or something. That's really bad. Down here we have the classic, only in theaters the February, and then we have the title, the subtitle, and this poster is better than the other one. I think this is more inviting. It kind of makes you wonder what's going on with this character. We have these diamonds in the background, and then they are repeated here on the sofa, which kind of ties that together. And it's repeated here. It's repeated on her suit, her jumpsuit there. It's repeated in her tattoo. So we have some design elements of cohesion, where we're bringing the elements of the poster together to kind of lend it to each other to make it like nice and bringing it together, which is always really good for the eye, which is really good for mentally to play to your audience, because you can much more easily tie everything together in memory. So now you're going to start associating these little diamond shapes and these colorful things with Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey movie, which is pretty cool. I think that's a good psychological tactic that they've used there, and I think this poster is really well done. I'm pretty happy with this one, and the first one, not so much. I think there is a lot to be desired here, and there is a lot of room for improvement. Conceptually, it's cool. I think it probably works as like you're gonna pitch it to somebody. Hey, what if we had Harley Quinn and she had like these little guys floating around her head? But there's not enough space on this poster with the size of the Harley Quinn head that they wanted to go with. So I'm glad that they made this one. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more posters out there as we approach this February date. And yeah, so there you go. Are you guys going to go see the Birds of Prey movie? And what do you think of these posters? As a graphic design element, do you guys see anything that they could have done or anything that they shouldn't have done on these posters? Let me know in the comments. And if you guys want to keep helping out the Zade Comics YouTube channel, head over to zadecomics.com and take a look at our comic Magic Cop, or you could go to patreon.com/ZadeNinja and become a patron of ours there. And we'll see you next time.